Boom! Hey everybody, welcome to Young Money Investments. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about my profits this week, how I was able to make nearly $5,000 shorting stocks this week. We are also going to be talking about some of the stocks that I have been shorting. We're going to talk about my practices for shorting. We're going to talk about how I have been doing since my last video. It's been a while since we've recapped how I have been trading, all today on Young Money Investments. So like I was saying, I am excited to be back here doing just a recap on my trades. It has been a while since I've been talking about the companies I've been shorting. I've been posting a lot of videos that are less relevant to like the actual topic of how much money I'm making, what companies I'm trading, what companies I'm shorting, and it has been going really well. I wanted to go through a trade recap, and that is kind of the purpose of today's video. So let's pull up the screen here. We are going to go into the Young Money Investments private mentorship group. So literally in this private mentorship, in fact, I'll even pull up my screen here a little bit just so you can see my ugly mug, I guess, right? We're going to be taking a look at the private mentorship group. So in the private mentorship group for Young Money Investments, you have the main channel, you have the options channel, you have my short positions, you have my swing trading section, post your profits, mistakes that we all make, investment section, stocks on watch, general stock news, options news, educational. This is everything that you are going to get in the private mentorship group. Now, with that, obviously I'm going live on a bi-weekly basis. Usually it's at least once to twice a week. You can ask me questions live in the private mentorship, but in this group, it is my intention, it is my purpose with this group to actually post my profits daily so that you know what I'm getting in, what I'm getting out of. And so in here every day, I recap my trades. For example, on Friday, this was last Friday, I had a $1,600 win. I was holding 1,000 shares of PHUN. I was up $81 as of that post. $32 of swinging PCG. Swinging that over the weekend, for me it wasn't a really scary short, and as you will see this week, PCG taped and ended up making a pretty good profit on that. But on Friday, I don't know why this is not gonna open. There we go. You can see I shorted CTRM. That was my nice gain of $1,100, almost $1,200. PHUN, I realized a gain of 271, and then on some SPY shorts, I shorted a quantity of 200 shares. Anyway, so we have the quantity and everything over here. That was my trades on Friday. As we move down here, we have some other folks that have obviously been doing really well. Eva's been doing great in the private mentorship group. But starting Monday, so Monday, I was fortunate to stay green again, as I said in the group here. Ended up that I was able to close with a little over $1,000 in profit if you include both of these. I also had some options trades that made me a little bit of money, but I ended up trading FCSC a couple different times and ended up staying green on the day with a little over $1,000 profit. Come down here, we're going to scroll through these as well. Ended up Tuesday, ended up also closing out green with a little over $1,000 profit again. I think I closed out with a total of $1,135, closing out my swing trades on PCG and PHUN. So that ended up bringing me, like I said, a little over $1,000 on these shorts here. And then if you come on down here, crazy day trading. This ended up being, I was down nearly $6,000 in a short on JMIA. We'll take a look at that chart for sure. But JMIA, my gosh, freaking crushed that one. That was a scary trade. I was using a lot of volume, heavy volume on this trade. This stock was trading at nearly $40 a share. And as you can see, I used, well, that's 1,100, 1,200, 1,500, 1,600, 1,775. I used a lot of volume to end up closing out at $22.50 in profit. If I would have held that one longer, I would have made several $1,000s on that trade yesterday, but did not. Ended up covering, but still cannot complain for a $2,500 win, right? And then you have today, if you scroll down here, had a nice little options trade. I swung this option Ended up actually closing out for $180 profit. Nothing big, but this was a swing trade that I took quite a while back. Ended up making profit on that. And then you have today where I actually ended up going red. So first red day. As you can see here, I ended up going red on MBIO because I tried to long this. I thought I had missed my opportunity to short it. I located 200 shares today on MBIO. And in fact, why don't we take a look at the chart here, and that'll actually show you where I went wrong. I ended up shorting 100 shares of the SPY and made just a quick $39 profit. UXIN ended up shorting that and then closing that out for just a $38 gain. So I ended up going red for the first time, guys, in 44 days. 44 days, I finally went red. Red days happen, and this is something that I need to kind of go over with you on the channel is we have red days, although when you add up and tally what I ended up making this week, with my options trades, well over $5,000 in profit. And have, like I said, been shorting stocks 44 days in a row until today. I ended up going green. Today I ended up with a total loss. If we actually take a look at this, if you don't include my options trades, right? If you include my option that I made money on right here, if you include the $180 that I closed this out at, I closed it out at $1.05 per contract. I ended up only going negative like $65 or like, I don't know, it was like around $50 basically. Basically, let's just call it as it is. I closed out, if you don't include the options trade, $265 red. The reality is red days happen. I got greedy with this one. I had to trade something and it ended up costing me. So this is going to be the chart for MBIO. So I should probably zoom this screen down a little bit because you don't need to see a big picture, but basically looking at MBIO, this is where I missed out. I missed, literally it had a spike up. It had been running, if you take a look, let me see here. If you take a look at the chart, I mean, this sucker ran a crazy amount, just even in the beginning market here. I mean, that was up 33%. It was up a crazy amount if you look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart. I mean, it went from 259 yesterday all the way up to 1555. Ran out a little bit during like the pre-market, and then you can see it just really started to tank. It's easier to see how bad it tanked if you take a look here at the 1-day, 1-minute chart, but it just never really recovered. Yes, it came down here to that like 550 mark, 560 mark, came up, but this thing never really recovered. I mean, this thing really ran down. I tried starting to dip buy right here, and then it got rejected and came back down. It just never had a bounce. MBIO never had a bounce today, and so I was never able to actually fully capitalize and ended up taking that red, basically $300 trade. Some of the great trades that I ended up having, or as you can see, PCG was another one that ended up just tanking throughout this week. If you look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart here, you can see where it ran up, and it has just faded. I mean, this company trading up here at $25. I mean, it ran down. We should probably actually take a look here. I mean, this company just ran down. I mean, the whole entire week. That's a negative 16% return on the week. I ended up taking a larger position size in this, so I ended up only capturing a slight move down. And again, I could have profited more, but I felt like it was better to take profits where I could. And hey, that's something that I ended up choosing to do. The big one of this week was JMIA. JMIA was one that I ended up shorting right in here at about 41.29, I would say. And then it freaking ran against me hardcore. This sucker, I was down, like I said, about $6,000. Really was kind of concerned. I mean, because I took almost a $30,000 position. That for me is abnormal. I normally do not take position sizes that big. The reason why I don't is because I only have about a $64,000 account. And when you take that kind of position size, these low volatile runners can run astronomically against you. So you need to be very careful with that. It ran up, and fortunately I was able to just capitalize on this massive drop here. I ended up getting out right in here and was very pleased. I mean, this was literally a rundown of like 20+%. I mean, I was 25% I was very grateful. Obviously, I didn't continue to add through this because of my account. I did add a little bit. I mean, I day traded about 700 shares, so maybe I shouldn't say I didn't capitalize on writing more of this down. But I mean, I could have leveraged in and added more in hindsight. But I think I played and traded this very well. If I would have held this overnight again, this really would have made me quite a bit of money. But again, beggars can't be choosers, cannot be greedy. That is a lesson that I really learned this week, is you cannot be greedy in the stock market. You need to learn to take profits where you can and realize when you're wrong, when it breaks a pattern. Sometimes you can hold. I mean, if these companies, and this is why I believed shorting JMIA was such a good short. Taking a look at this on a 180-day chart, you can't, because it just recently came out. But you can take a look at this on a 10-day chart and go, okay, this thing started out trading at 1826. They called this the Amazon of Africa, guys. Amazon of Africa? No, like, come on, this is not the Amazon of Africa. Amazon, yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that. But when this sucker ran, when it IPO'd 168%, you know something's wrong. You need to start covering if you're going long, and I ended up just shorting this thing. So luckily I was able to find the top and was able to end up coming down. Granted, like I said, I mean, I didn't really necessarily find the tip top. It ran against me 22%, but where it is trading now, I mean, it's down 16%. And ended up able to capitalize very well off of this. So guys, that was my week. That was the trading scenario. There was some good, there was some bad, there was some ugly. My first red day in 44 days, which sucks, but thankfully it was a very small loss. I mean, basically $265 shorting loss. If you include my options trade, it was even less, but I'm not going to include that. We're going to call it a $265 loss on the day. And just say, hey, it reminds me that I need to be a little bit tighter about what I'm doing. Don't long a stock. My skill set is shorting these momentum movers. Don't try and long and short all in the same day and try and hit the peaks and the valleys. More often than not, you are not going to do that. So that is my recommendation. Those are my trades. And like I said, I cannot complain with over a $4,500 win on the week. I think probably with options and everything, I'm well over $5,000. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm so grateful that you guys are out here watching these videos. If you want more videos like this and have more questions, please leave those in the comment section. I want to know what kind of videos you guys are wanting to watch. Thanks so much for tuning into Young Money Investments, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.